Hello, GrainGenes user, and thank you for downloading this tutorial. This is a 5-minute lesson on constructing simple SQL queries to extract specific information from GrainGenes. Throughout this lesson, I will also point out the browser page, quick queries, and other pre-made queries already available to users. First, let's look at a few types of queries already in GrainGenes. GrainGenes has many ways to retrieve data. The simplest methods are available via the browser page linked from the GrainGenes homepage shown here. If you're not familiar with the website, notice that there are two ways to get to the browser page, either via the large icon near the top center or on the top left menu bar. Notice on the left menu there is also a search website link where users can find data and other types of information available at the website. The page also tracks hot topics in the small grains community, recent updates to the SQL database, tweets, etc. This slide contains a short movie showing how from the browser page, users can perform specific database queries, like this query for the SSR locus, bark115. Note that there are several versions of this marker name. These are linked via a common probe record and locus orthology groups. All members of a GrainGenes data class can also be browsed by clicking on the link in the list. In this example, the trait data class was chosen, and this will be important later in the lesson. The GrainGenes Tools menu at the top menu bar takes users to many of the GrainGenes features. Let's have a look at a few of the quick queries available. Quick queries have been suggested by GrainGenes users over the past 25 years that the database and website have been operational. Users should be advised to look here first for specific queries you may want to run. Chances are good that the query has already been written here and can save you some work. Here are a few more options on the quick query page. This has just been a subset of the possible queries available here, so users should have a look at this page first, even if you haven't seen your query on these two slides. The Advanced Query link in the Tools menu takes users to the Advanced Query suite of available tools. For this lesson, we will use the SQL interface. SQL is an acronym for Standardized Query Language. The SQL interface allows users to enter raw SQL queries to directly query the database. Later in this tutorial, the query rewrite will be entered at the SQL query text box. Note there are a few more pre-made queries available here, and these can also be edited by users prior to running the query. Now let's look at some data types in the GrainGenes database. There are many types of data in GrainGenes, but for this lesson we will find QTL names by searching for appropriate traits. Note that in GrainGenes, trait studies provide metadata for the experiment and is included in the slide for information only. We will not be looking at trait studies for this lesson, but will be using QTL, loci, and trait data types. In this example, we want to produce a table with QTL we are interested in and the significant markers reported with the locus. The following slides will guide you through the discovery of QTL names and show you how to construct the query shown in the text box here. Go to the trait list as we did before and either enter a keyword in the query text box or scroll through the list. The trait list is fairly small, so scrolling page by page is simple. Use the drop-down list for larger data classes to navigate to the data you are interested in. For this example, we are interested in stripe rust. Traits in GrainGenes are listed as reaction to the pathogen, so here you could choose among the reaction to Puccinia trait types. The Trait Report page provides links to the plant ontology project's internal links to trait studies, which are evaluations, and an expandable list of QTL for this trait reported in GrainGenes. Note that when this lesson was recorded, there were 298 QTL for stripe rust measured in several populations. This is a typical QTL report page with a few of the links annotated. Note that the LOD peak location is also in the significant marker list, along with flanking markers for this QTL. So now that you know what query types exist and a little of the data structure, let's write a query to find significant markers for stripe rust resistance QTL. Navigate back to the SQL interface page. To construct an SQL query, you'll need to look at the schema. The most straightforward method is to click on the diagrams link, then download the images of the tables you need for your query. The tables we need are grouped in the locus and QTL table sets. Note that the table name is shown in the dark yellow header at the top of each box. The basic SQL query structure is select from where. Please note that there are advanced methods to join tables prior to querying, but this example will stay very basic. The query we will construct is shown in the center text box on the left. Arrows are color-coded to match with the schema on the right. Note that the QTL name must be in double quotes and that percent signs can be added as wildcards. A successful query will result in a list of the first few records. If there is an error in the query, there will be a descriptive message that should inform the user where the mistake occurred. Click the Download Text button for a text file of the complete results list.